this, for me, we'll see. You know, we saw kind of Prophecy using those cloaks to break into hardpoint. I really, for me, it's going to be how FaZe decides to play with the added stuff like cloak, stim. Are they going to pull it out into their repertoire here as we start to load into this one? Do you expect to see that?
You know, I really don't think FaZe is really going to adjust their game. I think they're just going to kind of play how they have been playing. I think it would be kind of foolish to change things up at this point. You've made such a great run to try and throw things into your game that you haven't been using so far. I think that would just be a mistake. And also, one thing you've seen Parasite as well. He's been using the hover ability on this map. I think that we've all been speaking that.
We saw Clay doing that too in the hardpoint, just getting up in a corner there, surprising people.
Yeah. But we are about to start this game, and who do you want to go off with first?
Well, let's stick it with Aches here. He's been the man we've been talking about the most with the injured thumb. Looking like Kurt Schilling in the bloody sock here as he's getting things going. Runs directly into the canisters as they're going to explode in his face there. But we see the first 10 points going to be coming into FaZe. Doug, Sensor, Martin's been lighting it up all weekend long. Let's see if he can keep things going.
Yeah, and you know, they're just doing a great job of controlling the hill. Doug really not even getting anybody pushing in to try and attack him. You see Parasite right there with that hover ability, try to just dash up into the air and stay there. Looks like Sensor putting some shots in a teammate. Doesn't matter. He's able to rally that off, and it looks like FaZe able to take the first 23 seconds in this game. You see Aches picking up a big two-piece.
You know, and I think this game fits his playstyle to a degree, because, you know, we saw at times he would play real fast and aggressive as a sub-player in Ghost. You know, as much as they talk about the fact that the Bow's an AR, with the speed and movement of this game and the fact that this is more a short to medium range gun, it reminds me more of a Vector than it does an AR to some degree. So I think this plays to his strong suits, and so far at this event, we're seeing him do great stuff. Right now, Prophecy yet to get on the board. They're coming their first couple points.
Yeah, and you see right there, Fears was able to win 2 big gun battles on rotation, but it does not matter. It looks like Aches taking control of this game right now over in the snow area. He's going to start off pretty hot, Maven, at 8-4.
Make it 9-4. Here comes the shots. It doesn't matter that he's injured at all. If you want to know what it's like to play like Aches right now, I mean, basically take a hammer to the thumb and then hop in here. But he is heating up right now, able to pick up a couple kills in that hard point. And right now, a commanding lead for FaZe early on.
Yeah, and you know, Ricky getting off to a pretty hot start as well, 10-7. But you know, FaZe, I mean, Prophecy not able to get any control of the hard point.
And here we are. This would be Slasher coming in, trying to pick that player off top base. You know, that's such an important spot on this hill because you can be such a nuisance with that high ground. This game, we've talked about it before it was even released. When we were seeing those first videos, you knew it was going to be a very, very vertical game. So high ground always going to be so, so important as we do see the rotation coming here out of Apathy.
Yeah, and you see it's going to be Slasher. He's going to be the first one at the next hill, and this would be a huge kill if he could pick it up. He's going to get one. It looks like they're just going to try and trade this. Ricky's going to be the player in the hill next. He is going to be taken out by Sensor. Sensor just trading kills effectively in the hill. It's going to go to Fears, but you never see anybody from Prophecy getting any good time. Right here's their little first chunk of time, maybe 5-10 seconds where the player in the hill is uncontested.
Yeah, and that spawn, it's going to take a little bit of a hike here for the members to move across the map to try and put pressure on this. And who's that? Somebody out in the snow. He just dropped. That was Ricky out there being a nuisance, delaying that push. Slasher first one in. Heads up play to look up top. Gets that kill. Can he get the second? Great stuff by Slasher. Gets the two-piece. Breaks the hill.
Huge kills from Slasher, and he's a player who came on strong at the end of Ghost, right? Maven, you know, with that Noble team, I mean, completely dominated the Season 3 playoffs, getting second place. But, you know, right now in AW, he is still bringing that same game.
Yeah, and I think it was him that tweeted. I'm trying to remember if it was Nashville or if it was, I think it was after Nashville when he had a really big event. That was, to a degree, his coming out party. He tweeted, so am I still you guys call me a ghoster. Yeah. He's proved it for me already in AW that he is, in fact, going to be a king at this title.
Oh, absolutely. But you see Prophecy mounting a little bit of a comeback, but Apathy going big in the hill. You know,
Apathy already, 17-8.
Yeah, Apathy, one of the best players in Ghost. You know, really didn't play Black Ops 2 too much. You know, started at the beginning, kind of didn't really play towards the end of the season, but in Ghost, one of the better players and definitely carrying over to AW.
Yeah, you see him in this corner, just trying to jump, get as much time as he can, give the worst angle possible for the opposition as they try to move in on him. Whipping around here, Sensor trying to get a kill, not able to pick him up.
Oh,
Parasite decides to destroy the canister and kill basically his entire team.
Yeah, that was not good.
No, that is basically the exact wrong way to use explosive barrels there. But as we take a look, 60-point advantage right now, just about to hit the 6-minute mark here. Doug Martin picking up kills. They basically control that entire top green hill, and here comes the next rotation match.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get on this rotation pretty quick. This is the one where Optic Gaming was able to really win this at the end against Envious, and it gets really chaotic in this Biolab hardpoint. There's so many different entrances you have to watch from. And you see it's mostly a contest fest in this hill. You see Parasite coming in, trading kills with Slasher. Slasher, he looks like he's going to actually hold this for a little bit amount of time, and it looks like FaZe applying great pressure from this one side.
And it's not exactly like, you know, the courtyard hill and retreat. It's not as open, but it's the central hill on this map. And like you said, there's so many entrances. A lot of times you just see this getting juggled back and forth between the teams, not getting too many points. But like you said, Optic did hold it off pretty darn well at the end of that one against Envy to win that series. But here we are. Sensor drops. Fierce trying to get as much time for his squad as possible. Just about to get to the halfway mark. And still Aches pretty much holding that 2-to-1 ratio, leading the way with 23 kills.
Yeah, you know, when Aches gets hot, he is one of the most dynamic players in Call of Duty. You know, he can do the OBJ work. He can slay. He's just so talented.
Yeah, and well, that's the reason I picked FaZe to get number 2 in our prediction, is just because I knew, just with the determination of this young player, he was going to come out and give it his all. I did not even think Sensor was going to be playing at the level he has been, but he has been so good throughout. The lead continues to increase, about 60 right now, and we'll watch, see what Fierce can do. He's got 2 lined up, able to get 1, get a dash back out, but will get killed from his right side. That was 2 players flooding the hill from FaZe.
Yeah, you know, Sensor actually getting big kills in the hill right there. You see him pick up 1, going to go for the second, not able to take him out. But you see Slasher, when we switched over to his screen, Maven, he was trying to go all the way around the back to get this spawn for FaZe. They were able to get it. Apathy's going to take out 2 right there. So smart plays out of Slasher.
Yeah, and they've got, what, 3 basically in and around this hill right now. They should be able to get the remaining time. We'll see. You saw the spawn in snow for that player at the top. I believe that was what, Sensor. Yeah. Oh, Slasher up top. I was going to see if he was going to try and rotate, but they're going to get as much of this time as possible. They're going to keep contesting this for the time. We should see the rotation coming soon.
Yeah, you see the players from Prophecy are going to get on that rotation right away. You see they all spawn over there. It's going to be a slower rotation for FaZe, so it's going to be important that they're going to have to get these kills right here before the next hardpoint pops up.
That's why I was surprised when Slasher spawned snow.
Yeah,
he decided just to rotate over. There was, what, 9 seconds left or something? But they did get all the time. It's hard to critique them right now as they have a 80-point advantage as we get under 4 minutes right now. Was that 4 down there for Prophecy?
Yeah, they broke that so fast.
So
you saw
fast.
Apathy come around the back from snow, and they applied pressure from that plat, and they just pinched them out of the hill, and that's something we have to see from teams. And you see Apathy right here. He's just going to be up in the corner, just picking people off.
You know, you and I have talked a lot about this. You know, it plays different than hardpoints in Black Ops, or in Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
You don't have to rotate always at, like, you know, let's say 15 to 20 seconds. Some of these hills, they're so close, you can get there so quickly and break them so easily just with the movement in this game. You see rotating late, and that worked out perfectly, did it not, for FaZe?
Yeah, and right now you see the players from Prophecy, they were just all flooding through snow, and usually when you push a hill and you want to break it, maybe you need to, you know, pinch, and when you pinch, you end up spawning the opposing team out because you're blocking all their spawns by rotating properly. So right now you see the players from Prophecy, they're going to rotate to the hill. They're going to do their rotations right. This is the same thing we saw against Optic Gaming. They rotated perfectly, were not able to get the kills once they set up.
All right, and here they come. First person over that 30 mark is going to be Aches. He's 31 and 18. And just look at the balance slang right now, just overall of this FaZe team. Every single player is going to be even or positive right now. On the flip side, every single player negative for Prophecy. You are not going to be able to win a hard point like that.
No, and I don't think Prophecy expected this kind of slaying to come out from FaZe. You know, obviously earlier, beating them 3-0, they probably had to be pretty confident, but they cannot take FaZe lightly right now. They are a completely different team than we saw earlier in the day.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's what I was saying. You know, you see this every event. There is one team that gets hot in a loser's bracket, and when you are that team that loses in the winners finals, and you have to go up against that team, it is so difficult to match sometimes that energy level and the hot streak of that loser's bracket squad.
Yeah, you know, I would love to have a stat to show a percentage of teams that lose winner bracket finals and then lose loser bracket finals.
This is one of the, there's 2 minutes left and they're about to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, just a dominant performance right there from FaZe. They are going to 100-point club Prophecy, a complete turnaround of what we saw earlier.
150-point club.
Yeah, and I mean, just look at them in the booth compared to earlier this morning, right? You know, earlier this morning, obviously they didn't play a good game at all, but you didn't even see any type of, you know, smile or communication between the players.
I'm worried that Aches is going to get so fired up he high-fives someone with that right hand, his stitches just rip out. But we're going to have some special stuff for you guys between games right now. We do have pro player Mud Dog and Rambo Ray to analyze this game number 1.
Hey guys, I'm Mud Dog here with Rambo and Ray. As Extra said there, crazy turnaround from the last time these guys played. Really big difference in the score, and you know, Aches Slaying really led FaZe to that victory there.
I mean, biggest difference is the slaying. Earlier we saw, I think it was the complete opposite. It was 250 to 80 for Prophecy, and this time it's 250 to 96 for FaZe. It's like the sling was absolutely a complete coin toss completed earlier.
And you know, Prof just came off that loss to Optic. We had FaZe making their run through the loser bracket, winning a lot, getting a lot of momentum, and you really see that come into play here.
I mean, definitely. I mean, like we said, it's complete turnaround earlier. They got 3-0'd, and this time they just beat Denial, they beat TK, coming in hot. Prophecy's got 3-0 by Optic, complete turnaround, and FaZe, like you saw, completely pumped after that game. It's going to be some crazy matches coming up.
And we really need to talk about Aches here. You know, he's playing with the messed up thumb, dropped a ton of kills there, really opened up the map for his team, and that led to a lot of open lands on rotation. And those kills on rotation, as you know, are huge. It really sets the tone for that next hill and lets your team control and rack up those points.
Definitely. I mean, it was every hill FaZe had original control. We barely saw any kind of fight from Prophecy. They had some scrap time here and there, and that was about it.
Now, why do you think Prophecy had such a hard time breaking hills against FaZe right there?
I mean, the slaying has to be the main point we bring up here. I mean, we're constantly bringing this up for hard point, but it's just the main topic to say. I mean, when you're getting outside by 20+ kills, it's going to be really hard to win any kind of play.
Right, of course. I mean, you know, the mental game comes into play, but when those kills are coming down, it's really hard to do anything to counter it.
Agreed. S&D.
Next map we got coming up, Solar S&D. We're going to send it to a commercial. We'll be right back, guys.